All right, everybody. Hope y'all are doing well. Today's video, homesteading in light of the corona, like homesteading through coronavirus or something of that nature. Um, Unless you've lived under a rock somewhere, I think there's been no confirmed reports in South America, so there may be a rock in South America you may be living under. You've heard of the coronavirus, especially if you're in the United States right now. There's a lot of panic, not pandemic panic. We haven't seen it. We've seen a couple cases in the United States, no deaths so far. So it's more of just general fear that is happening right now that's sweeping. And it has brought a number of homestead channels, which we've all have done videos on kind of homesteading in light of the coronavirus, focusing on independence and self-sufficiency, self-sustainability, and all those are very, very important. I do not wish to say anything negative about that, but I feel like there's an important step that needs to be taken into consideration. If you've been following my channel, you know I talk about purpose a lot. The purpose of us, the purpose of what we're doing, the purpose of what actions we make, where do we fit within what we're trying to accomplish, and purpose is a significant part of that. And I did not become a homesteader for the purpose of doomsday prepping independence. I want to be sustainable. I want to be able to grow the bulk of my own food, but I'm not a homesteader trying to make it without people. And that's a significant factor into the way that I look at homesteading. My vision of homesteading in the future has never been one where I'm the only one that's left, and the family is all that's here, and this is all we've got to make it. It has always been to increase community and social function within our local community. That's really what it is. To me, it's about relationships. That's what homesteading is. So, we've made connections with local homesteaders in our area. We know a number of our neighbors. So if society collapses, we will make it, but we will make it because of the relationships we have pursued and accumulated, and the goods that we produce on our property that we can use for bartering services and things of that nature. Like that's long-term thought. But at no point have I wanted to create an environment where, oh, I need this, I got this. Frankly, it's very unrealistic that you will be able to support and produce everything you need on your property unless you have a very significant size property and you have a significant amount of help. But it is possible to be good at a number of things, and like I said, bartering and things of that nature. So if you are getting into homesteading out of fear of the coronavirus and the pandemic effect of a societal collapse, I would not recommend you go into this suddenly thinking, I want to be completely independently self-sustainable. I wouldn't do that for a number of reasons, because it takes time to set up those systems. We've been setting up systems on our property for a little less than a year, and I can tell you the reality is that while all our systems are working, they are not working at nearly a sufficient level for us to make it should there be a giant societal collapse. We still utilize a great deal of electrical power for our storage of our excess food. We lose if the grid goes down. We've got stand-in freezers that will maintain their coolness for a while, but there's not a long-term meat solution we have. We've been setting up our garden, and we haven't even put the plants in the ground yet this year. We will be, but the reality is that we are not set up for that, and it takes time to do that. And the last thing I want to see is a bunch of people go running off to the store to go buy a bunch of goods that they're never going to use, that they aren't set up to use. You should have a pantry. We have a pantry. We have an emergency amount of food should, God forbid, the worst case happens. We will make it, but we're not going to be real comfortable. And our comfort will come out of the time with which we spend improving our scenarios, which is what we do every day. So if you're going to be a homesteader, look at your purpose for being a homesteader. If you're wanting to be a doomsday prepper, then there are different resources you need to be stockpiling. You need to think of it different. If you're wanting to get back to a more basic, fundamental relationship with life and the land around you, that's what we're doing. If society collapses, we're all in trouble. And truly, if you're a student of history, humans don't make it on their own. We're social creatures for a reason. if you're going to be a homesteader, you need to make connections with the local homesteaders around you. You need to form a network. It's one of the things I wanted to do this year, was really form a co-op, not like a company co-op, but a formal kind of informal agreement between all the homesteaders around us that we can barter amongst each other for the goods that we have and the things that we need. That's important. The relationships you cultivate as a homesteader are important, and important to your long-term success. You've got to do seeds, you've got to do meat birds, you've got to have your chickens, you've got to have all these things, but don't lose track of the fact that your relationships are important as well. So most important, I think, is we have this pandemic issue and this fear that's gripping us. Call your loved ones, call your family, spend time with those you love. That will do more to calm your fears than 100 pounds of rice. Okay, so those are my thoughts. Agree with it, disagree with it, it's up to you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Joseph Simon Bumlin Acres. Bye.